Good evening. This is Antionette Royal speaking to you today about unreasonable suspicion, just say no, and poor excuse. Unreasonable suspicion is where a police officer assumes that an individual, specifically a black individual, is seen doing something that he or she should not be doing. And that's where they could easily have a hoodie on and just be sitting down looking around, and that would seem suspicious to the individual cop. Just like in the Terry versus Ohio case 1968, the Supreme Court states that an officer has the authority to suspect that an individual is dangerous or engaging in criminal activity if they are seen looking suspicious or having suspicious body language. Therefore, that if they do decide to approach that person and that person may be carrying a weapon or something, not saying that they're using it, but if they was to search the person and find that weapon, now they can take that person to jail, all because they seen that they looked suspicious and thought that they was engaging in dangerous activities when in reality they wasn't, and they just assumed that. Next, just say no. Just say no relates to the Fourth Amendment, where you have the right not to speak to a police officer, especially without your lawyer. Now, it was a Supreme Court case stated in the new Jim Crow book that states that the Florida versus Bostic case is where Terrence Bostic, a 28-year-old African-American male, complied with the police officer to giving his bag that contained a lot of cocaine in it. Mr. Bostic did not realize that he did not have to comply with the police officers and not give them his bag. He did not realize that the Fourth Amendment stated that he has the right to remain silent if he wanted to.
First, let's talk about bad
and basically the police officer used their superior power over him to intimidate him, to make it seem like he had to obediently give up his bag that had contained the cocaine in
they are being accused of. They would just take it easy on them.
Thirdly,
however,
poor excuse. Poor excuse within the drug war is basically where police officers find any little thing to pull over somebody or arrest them. You could be doing a 27, a 25 lane, and the police officer will pull you over and saying that you're speeding, when in all reality you're just doing 2 miles over the actual limit. And they would then have you get out the car and do a search. All three of these actions are unjust for the simple fact that unreasonable suspicion, anybody can seem suspicious and not actually be involved in any criminal activity. Just say no. Everybody has the right to remain silent and not appeal or comply to police officers just because they seem intimidating and because that is technically the right thing to do. And thirdly, poor excuse. Police officers sometimes use their authority over to a more too much. So basically, all three of these examples have unjust aspects within them.